time President, Pakistan condemns terrorism and sweat, and we will inshallah make Pakistan a great country inshallah and liberate it with full commitment and with full force. Any religion, hate-driven ideologies such as India's Hindutva driven extremism pose a danger to the entire world. Any religion, hate-driven ideologies such as India's Hindutva driven extremism pose a danger to the entire world. While there is growing recognition of the dangers posed by Islamophobia, the imperative of effectively combating this menace can hardly be overemphasized. Pakistan welcomes the appointment of a UN Special Envoy to combat this scourge. Ladies and gentlemen, while we are confronted with the climate crisis, it demands the most urgent collective action. In 2022, Pakistan faced massive floods of humongous proportions that caused huge losses amounting to. Pakistan firmly supports the demand of the Palestinian people for the establishment of a sovereign Palestinian state with pre-1967 borders and Al-Quds Sharif as its capital. Palestine can no longer remain under Israeli shackles. It must be liberated, and liberated with full commitment and with full force. $34 billion and many valuable lives lost. This year again, we are dealing with another mega flood with thousands of villages washed away from the face of the earth, millions of people displaced, more than 1,000 killed, and billions of dollars of crop, livestock and property washed away, lost to flood waters. Our nation stands united in these testing times, and we are dealing with this natural calamity with remarkable resilience by the grace of God. I have declared a climate emergency to cope with this challenge. The catastrophic floods of 2022 and 2025 this year are glaring examples of loss and damage caused due to climate change. Pakistan, to the contrary, my honorable guests in this hall and through the cameras around the globe, Pakistan contributes less than 1% of global emissions annually. Yet it continues to face the relentless brunt and muddy waves of climate change. And then we are told to borrow loans and add on to our debt, huge debt pillars we have over the period of time. This is not fairness. This is not equality. This is not justice. This is not fair play. How can you expect a country which is a developing country facing humongous flood challenges every year due to climate change and no fault of ours, and yet we are told to borrow more loans? I think borrowing loan would be destroying your economy. We will be better off than not borrowing loan and standing on our own feet, working hard, tirelessly, blood and sweat, and we will inshallah make Pakistan a great country inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, while we deal with climate change, I bear good tidings on the domestic economic front. Socio-economic development and the welfare of our people are among my government's foremost priorities. We have successfully implemented deep-rooted structural macroeconomic reforms, modernized and broadened our taxation system, intensified efforts to mobilize productive investment, and embraced digitization, AI, and crypto as the tools of the future. Strategic partnerships, including our all-weather cooperation with China through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor under President Xi Jinping's landmark Belt and Road Initiative, are contributors to our progress as I speak. I admire the vision and foresight of President Xi Jinping, who's recently launched Global Governance Initiative, along with other global initiatives, offers a comprehensive framework for a more just, fair and inclusive development. Excellencies, as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, Pakistan is playing its constructive role in conflict prevention. The unanimous adoption of Resolution 2788 under our presidency of the Council has renewed our collective commitment to multilateralism, respect for the UN Charter and effective implementation of UN Security Council resolutions. Excellencies, at the end, let me assure you that Pakistan will always stand for peace, justice and development, for a revitalized United Nations and for cooperative and multilateralism that is fair and inclusive and delivers for all. Therefore, let this 80th anniversary not simply commemorate history, let us make history and chart a future for the next 80 years with these United Nations as enduring hope for global good. Let us truly strive to become better together. Thank you very much. United Nations, long live. God bless you.
On behalf of the Assembly, I wish to thank the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. The Assembly will now hear an address by His Excellency Li Qiang, Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China. I request protocol to escort His Excellency and invite him to address the Assembly.
主席、各位同事、女士们、先生们，今年是世界反法西斯战争胜利80周年，也是联合国成立80周年。80年前，全世界无数仁人志士前仆后继，经过艰苦卓绝的战斗，打败法西斯，抱着永不再战的理想，建立了联合国，开启了构建战后国际秩序、追求和平发展的不凡历程。80年风雨兼程，联合国已成为当今世界最具普遍性、代表性和权威性的政府间国际组织。正是因为建立了以联合国为核心的国际体系和以国际法为基础的国际秩序，我们人类社会才实现总体和平，迎来前所未有的大发展、大繁荣。
ನಿರ್ಭೀತ, ನಿಷ್ಪಕ್ಷಪಾತ, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಾರ್ಹ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಹೆಸರಾಗಿರುವ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ 18 ಕನ್ನಡ ಈಗ ಆಪ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ಲಭ್ಯವಿದೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವ QR ಕೋಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆಪ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮರಿಬೇಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಬಲ ಹೀಗೆ ಸದಾ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿರಲಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.